All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Sonder Social. I'm Malika. I will be leading you through your gratitude log and simplify your day exercise in your May journals. For those of you who have never met me before, I have been a facilitator for a couple years alongside Bailey, who's dialing in from Tennessee. There she is. She's giving you a big ol' wave. She will be helping me with the chat, answering any questions you have, and I will be kind of leading you through your social. And before we get started, make sure to set that toggle to everyone. We use the chat to communicate with each other throughout the social. So make sure to keep that on and double check that it is set to everyone. And for anyone who is new to Sonder Socials, go ahead and type in "I'm new" or just so we can fully welcome you. I know a lot of familiar names are in the chat that are popping up, so welcome back to those that are returning, but welcome to the new folks as well. Yay, we have a couple of new folks, so welcome, welcome. And we'll get started. I'm currently dialing in from Santa Barbara, which is my hometown. I'm usually based in San Francisco, but I am home for the weekend, so excited to be here. It's gorgeous weather here. It feels like summer. I'm a very happy girl. So, with that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. And because we have a few new folks here, I just want to make sure I run through the guidelines. Just remember to be kind and courteous to yourself and others. No promotions or spam. Respect everyone's privacy. No hate speech or bullying. Any product or accessory questions or customer care inquiries can go to our team, hello at Silk and Sonder. And our Sonder socials are really the way we all connect with each other. So I know we do a lot of journaling. I know a lot of it is independent work, but this is really for our community and it's really for us to connect with each other, share with one another. And the ideas that flow amongst this group are like liquid gold. Like they are amazing. So I love just being here with you all. So it's really to get the most out of your journal and maybe think about approaching some of these exercises in a different way than you initially thought. So it is a great place to get the most out of your journal to best serve you. Okay, so let's talk about this month's theme of simplicity. I think this is very fitting, especially for me this month because I am moving. So, what way to simplify my life than get rid of some of that clutter? Maybe think about what I don't need instead of what I've been hoarding for so many years in my current apartment in San Francisco. But also, not just when it comes to stuff, but it's also about how we live our lives. I think oftentimes we get bogged down with the craziness of life and we get pulled in a lot of directions. We have our phones that are essentially computers that are glued to us at all times and serve as, productivity tools, but also as great distractors. So it is very much a more complicated world that we all live in. So maybe thinking about as we move into kind of our last exercise, thinking about how we will be simplifying our routines a little bit, thinking about what doesn't serve us as much, and just thinking about all of those things. All right, so I'll give you a rundown of kind of what the agenda will be for this social. This is an hour-long social. I know it goes by really quick, but we'll first start off with the opening activity. Then we'll move into our gratitude log on page 13, and then we will transition into the Simplify Your Day activity on page 16. All right. Okay, so for the opening activity, I want everyone to either turn to a blank notes page or find a scratch paper and really think about kind of the simplicity soundtrack. So think about songs and sounds that evoke a feeling of simplicity. I chose Nora Jones kind of as our and as the song to bring you all in, because I feel like for me, there's something so soothing about it. It feels like kind of like a warm hug. It feels familiar and comfortable. I know that song was really popular when it first came out, and it just reminds me of like department stores with my mom and just, elevator music, all that, all that fun stuff. So think about kind of what songs speak to your contentment, gratitude for what you have, rather than longing for more. Think about what music celebrates the beauty of being enough. Are there songs that make you feel lighter, less burdened? What music encourages you to release what's unnecessary and embrace a more carefree state of being? This is not as easy as I would assume, just because is it the lyrics? Is it the melody? Is it the sound? Like think about kind of what that is, and also we also have like another question if you'd like to kind of think about maybe even the sounds of nature. So is there something that's particularly calming to you? And just jot that down. Think about songs in your playlist. Think about sounds that you experience as you go throughout your day. Maybe it's the wind. Maybe it is, the pitter patter of the rain. Think about what that is for you, and write it down. So I will give you all a few minutes to kind of think about what that simplicity soundtrack is for you, whether it be a playlist, whether it be sounds, totally up to you how you want to take this. And we'll regroup in a second. All right, just checking in here. I feel like the chat has been really active. So I love all the ideas that have popped up. I saw that some folks like to listen to almost like a lullaby or like a short story before they go to bed, which is so cute, kind of reverting back to our childhoods there, but making it, it's almost like very calming. And then, maybe it's instrumental music, sounds that everyone's witnessing outside. Maybe it's a playlist of your favorite music, maybe it's the lyrics of those songs that really you resonate with. So I love all the chatter in the chat. So thank you all so much for sharing. We will now move on to our next activity, which is the gratitude jar. So go ahead and flip to page 13. We will spend some time filling our gratitude jars, but I want to surface some ideas that have kind of popped up over the years. We do gratitude jar once in a while. But I want to show you kind of some ideas in case it resonates with you and you'd like to adopt some of this, some of how they've set it up. So you can definitely, use it as a blank spot and just add the words everywhere. You can write phrases instead of just words with some stickers. I like this little bubble jar. It's almost like they're putting what they're grateful for in each bubble, and it looks like there's some little bubbles too, so it's active. You can also have a bunch of stickers and put placeholders, and then you can put stuff in those stickers and write on top. Here are some funky ways of like writing it. You put it like on a diagonal. They made little bricks. This is cute too, this little firefly jar where you can write something by each firefly. I really like this one too, because this one has some cool shape to it. It's almost like very geometrical and I don't know, kind of like reminds me of stained glass in a way, which I can like. And then this one's also stickers. Here are some fun ones too, where you can write little flowers in your jar and write something in each of the petals. I feel like that's such a fun way to do it. I think it's also very fitting as we're moving into the summer months, spring into summer. I love like all the florals and all of that. So that's really fun. This one's also really fun for summer. I mean, the talent that you all have, my goodness. I could never be this talented, but it's so fun. It's like a whole underwater adventure down here. But you can use this place to really get creative, as you can see. I also like how people have used kind of the white space. So you can also put a quote. I love that, someone put a quote here. And, also like a question of like, because they wanted to make it a themed gratitude jar. I really, really like this. So think about like, maybe you want to make this gratitude jar thematic. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this. Here are some other ones as well. I love kind of people who are really into lettering. I love this. This is super cool too. So this is fun. Almost like a word cloud, but on paper. And then here are also some places where you can set it up so it's, space where you can write inside. But very, very cool directions, very different directions. Oh wow, Leanne, this is yours. Amazing. I love it. So definitely feel free to, get inspired by these. And I know not all of us have this type of talent here, but it's definitely if you'd like to and you want to create an underwater adventure, I fully encourage you to create that. But with that, I'll give you all some time to fill out your gratitude jar. Feel free to get creative, grab your pens, your colored pencils, whatever things you want to use for your jars. And we will regroup in a few minutes. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I also have a bunch of gratitude jar ideas in case you are feeling like you are a little stuck. So here are some ideas to get you started. Feel free to adopt this, but of course, you're going to come up with many things on your own, but just in case you need some ideas. All right. We will now move on to our next activity, which is the simplified routine activity. But I wanted to pause and say thank you for sharing kind of what you put in your gratitude jars, how you set it up. It was so fun to kind of read through. And maybe even like feeling inspired by some of these fun jars that people have created in the past. It's always fun. So thank you all for sharing. And we will now move on to the Simplify Your Day activity. So take a minute and turn the page to page 16. And I just wanted to quickly introduce the activity. So we have a T chart here. We have a side that says current routine, and then we have a side that says simplified routine. And the prompt reads, write out your current routine and tasks in the current routine box, then categorize each task as essential, important, or non-essential. I'm going to give you a couple different ways you can approach kind of the simplification method. So more of that to come. But really thinking about what is your daily routine, prioritizing your essential and important tasks into the simplified routine box. So here is my example. Oh gosh, it's kind of like close to the end of the slide there, but there's a lot going on. So I typically wake up, I typically scroll social media, which I definitely shouldn't do, but I do. I check my Slacks always. Then I like actually get out of bed, make my bed. I'm pretty good. I'm really good at making my bed every morning. It's the first thing I do every time I wake up. Then I check my Slack again because Slack is always distracting me. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face. Then I check my Slack again. Then I actually sit down at my desk and work. Then I scroll TikTok. I sometimes scroll TikTok too much. Then I work more. I eat a snack. Maybe I walk or take a nap. Then I shower and then I eat dinner and then I sleep. So a Slack is kind of like, the way we communicate, like chat. It's like a chat that you have with your work. So it's kind of distracting. Maggie, yes, I do have my Slack notifications on. It is something I have tried to remove, but it is something that is really hard to not have on my phone. But it is kind of, this is currently my routine. This is an honest routine. But most of my life, like during the week, unfortunately, is Slack and working. But my simplified routine is really waking up, make my bed. So get rid of that TikTok scroll, get rid of that Instagram scroll, get rid of the Slacks. Those can wait till I'm at my desk. Brush my teeth, wash my face, change, then check Slack and work. Scroll on TikTok for 15 minutes. I'll give myself some time to scroll social media, work, eat a snack, work out, eat dinner and watch TV and sleep. Oh, I should probably put shower, work out and shower, and then eat dinner and watch TV while I eat dinner and then sleep. So this is kind of how I did it, but I wanted to also walk you through kind of a couple like a kind of a strategy of how you can approach this. So really think about your current routine. Maybe you want to focus on your morning routine. You can definitely do that. I can also walk you through kind of a couple different ways that you can set this up. So you can basically think about, okay, do you want to focus on your morning routine? Do you want to focus on maybe like your meal plans? Maybe you want to get in the habit of prepping your meals, or having like a simplified menu, or like everything's kind of ready for you. Thinking about like digital decluttering. So what things are you going to remove from your phone? Maybe for me, it's Slack. Maybe it's, putting your email notifications off. What is it for you? Thinking about kind of how you're going to unwind in the evening. Thinking about maybe there's stuff, like, in your work life that you want to simplify. This doesn't have to be just your life, it can also be your work life. So think about kind of different things, and think about what that routine is. So do that. And then the next step is really, um, using a simplification method. So there's this Eisenhower matrix method, which is similar to kind of what the prompt says, thinking about what's essential, important, and non-essential. So what is urgent, what's important, thinking about, okay, what is an actual to do, what's something you need to schedule, what's something that you can delegate, and what's something you need to eliminate. So thinking about kind of categorizing each of those things that you write down in your routine. You can use that simplification method, or you can also use kind of habit stacking. So thinking about kind of how your routine is, it's typically kind of timeline linear. So thinking about, okay, after I work out, I'm gonna shower. So thinking about what kind of coincides and what works together, and maybe kind of allocating that time. Or like, again, batch routine tasks. So for example, meal planning, which I'm terrible at, but just making sure that you go grocery shopping and maybe chopping the vegetables so that when you're cooking on a weekday and you don't have time, you just dump it. Like you dump the vegetables that you prepped already, or you don't have to think about chopping and you just kind of assemble. So thinking about kind of things that you can do in your life where it makes the guesswork, makes the tedious nature of it out of the equation. Andrea, great idea. Frozen veggies are wonderful. Yes, absolutely. I love a frozen spinach. I love frozen veggies. Tossing that in my dish is always the way to go. Also, meal prepping is part of that too. So if you do like want to cook Sunday night, so you have some meals at least Monday, Tuesday, that's a great idea as well. And then draft your simplified routine. So after thinking about your simplification method, then you can kind of think about what is something that you can do that's a little bit more focused, that's really going to be your routine, that takes out all those distractions, that takes out all those unnecessary steps that we're adding in our day, that are kind of making it hard to like go from one thing to the next. So I will give you all some time to set up your simplified routines. I'm going to keep this on here just as a guide to help you through this exercise, but feel free to ask any questions in the chat. Let us know kind of what's something that you've noticed that you've written down in your current routine that you surprised you, but also didn't, like, you realized how often you do it. So like for me, it's probably checking Slack. I check Slack all the time, and it's definitely probably not serving me. Or also scrolling through TikTok. It's just, it's a time guzzler. So thinking about being honest with ourselves about what we do each day is also important in this exercise. So don't feel ashamed. We've all been there, but writing it down is the first step. All right, so I will check in with you guys in a little bit, but I'm excited to hear about your routines. All right, guys, the hour is almost ending. But I wanted to thank you all for sharing kind of your routines, what's worked for you, what hasn't. It's all about kind of refining and sorry, I need some water. Refining and just tailoring our routines to best serve us. And I really like this idea of our phone technically, like, I don't know about you all, but my phone is my biggest distractor in life. It's also great because it helps me with so much, but it's such a distractor. And somebody said using like those like specific focus modes for kind of each a part of your day is such a great life hack, where you can kind of mute all of your apps that just send you a ton of notifications. Um, I think it's such a great kind of way to simplify the routine. But thank you all so much for spending this hour with me. We have this life coach product, which is awesome. Make sure to check this out. This is a great way to tailor your productivity to you and your mental wellness journey, all of that. It's really personalized, so definitely check that out. Oh, sorry. And make sure I will send you all the link to my playlist. I did not put it in the slides, so let me go ahead and do that. And thank you all so much for this hour. Make sure to show us your gratitude jars and your routines in Sonder Club. After this, I really enjoyed this hour and I hope to see you next time. But thank you all so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Bye, everybody.